ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, verse number 44. So we've been reading Mother Yashoda's vision of the universe inside the belly of Sri Krishna, and then her thought on it. And the last which we read was that this thought of detachment came in her mind. So when that happened, then Sri Krishna, he spread his Vaishnavi Maya in the form of her affection towards Krishna as son. So then when that happened, then she again forgot everything. So jnanena avritam jnanam tena muhyanti janta. So there is Maya which makes you forget yourself and makes you become absorbed in the body, and there is Maya which makes you forget yourself and makes you become absorbed in Krishna. So So that is the Vaishnavi Maya which he spread on her. So Sadhyo Nashta Smritir Gopi Saropya Arohamatmajam Pravriddha Sneha Kalila Hridaya Shita Yathapura. So as soon as that happened, then immediately she forgot all that thought which came momentarily, that I am Kumati, this is all improper thinking, wrong understanding, that I am the mother, I am the queen of Vraja and so on. So now all that was gone and she was back. So just like in India they have Smashan Vairagya, if somebody dies, people go to the cremation ground. So everybody talks philosophy. In the cremation ground everybody is a philosopher. That's why Lord Shiva lives there, permanently renounced. So when they come home, then Sadhya Nashta Smriti, they forget everything and back to normal. So therefore Sadhya Nashta Smritir Gopi Saropya Arohamatmajam. So immediately her awareness of herself as independent or detached, it all became lost, and she lifted Krishna into her lap. That, oh my son, why are you eating this? Just drink milk. So Saropya Aroham Atmajam Pravriddha Sneha Kalila Hridaya Asit Ethapura. And her heart was full of intense love for Krishna as before. So there was no change at all. So Nashta Smriti Yatha Swapna Drishto Artha Kaschid Vismriyate Tathaiv Sadhyaiva Sa Vishwa Darshanadikam Visasamara Ityartha. So just like we have dreams at night, and sometimes when you wake up you may remember some dream, but after some time you forget that. It's difficult to then recollect. If you immediately try to recollect, maybe you can think what you were dreaming. But after 1-2 hours, it just disappears. So like that, just as the dream disappears, like that her vision and understanding experience of Krishna's universal form, it disappeared. And she did not have any thought about it. Pravriddhena sankocha karanadapi ashwarya jnanad asankuchetena pratyuta prabalibhutena sneha. So earlier her affection towards Krishna little bit diminished, and she started thinking all this vairagya, and now it came back, and not only came back, but it was even more intense than before. So probably bhutena snehena kalilam vyaptam hridaya. So her heart was completely overpowered by the feeling of affection to Krishna as her child. So that's how she felt. Traya cha upanishadbhischa sankhyayogaischa sattvataihi upagiyamana mahatmyam harim samanyata atmajam. So who is this child? Says that this child is the one whose glories are sung in the 3 Vedas, by the Upanishads, in the philosophy of Sankhya and Yoga, and by the Sattvata's great devotees. And that child, that person who is sung, she considered him to be as her child. So that is to show the greatness of Yashoda. That all these scriptures, Upanishads, Vedas, Puranas, Tantras and Darshanas, they are glorifying Krishna as the source of universe when it comes to Sankhya philosophy. And then Vedas is described as Purana Purusha. So all these descriptions are there, but as far as Yashoda is concerned, she only thought of him as her small baby. That's all. So there is a nice commentary on this. Devakyapi sakashat tasya utkarsham abhyanjitum aishwarya darshanadapi sviya vatsalya premnah sankocha bhavam akhyaya aishwarya Shravanadapi ahatraya. So it says that now Sukadeva Goswami is showing that how the greatness of Yashoda is superior even to Devaki. Because we know that Devaki also started praying to Krishna after she saw him with all these insignia of Vishnu. Rupam yattahu, Rupam yattat prahu, Vyaktam adyam, Nirgunam nirvikaram. So all that prayers she started Naste Parardhe. So here we see that Yashoda did not do any of those things. She actually saw more opulence than what Devaki. So Devaki only saw small four-handed Krishna. Not all this. But even then she was praying. So Devakyapi sakashat tasya utkarsham abhinjitum aishwaryadar. So he wants to show this distinction. Because one of the purpose of Bhagavatam, the stories in Bhagavatam from the very beginning, is to show the various levels of bhakti. So that we do not think that whether it is Dhruv Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj or Prithu or all other devotees, great devotees, they are all just devotees. So it wants to establish what is the pure devotion, and therefore is making a distinction between the love of Devaki and the love of Yashoda towards Krishna, that their devotion is not same. Although both are mothers, Krishna is known as Devaki Nandana, also Yashoda Nandana. But that does not mean that the love of Devaki is on par with love of Yashoda. So to show this, he is bringing all this. This is the real intention of Vyasadeva writing all this. Besides, of course, it's nice to have Krishna-līlā for meditation. But besides meditational purpose or to meditate on Krishna-līlā, there is also the purpose of showing the pure devotion and to explain what is Shuddha Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti, Ragatmika Bhakti. So that's why the commentators are bringing out these points. So Aishwarya Darshanadapi Sviya Vatsalya Premna Sankocha Bhavam. So even after seeing the Aishwarya of Krishna, her Vatsalya Prema, or the love towards Krishna as her child, it did not diminish at all. Sankocha Bhavam Akhya and Aishwarya Shravanadapya. So now here says that even after hearing Aishwarya, not only seeing but also hearing, sometimes when you see somebody, you may not understand that person. You see some great devotee or a great personality, you may not understand, then you hear about him, oh he did this, he is like that. Then you develop more Shraddha about that, right? Hearing, you read stories or biography of somebody. So when you read that, reading is also a form of hearing, then you may understand the glory of the person. So it says that first she is seeing, and she may have also heard, because people also sing about his glories. So that is being described, that even after seeing and hearing, her love towards Krishna as her son did not diminish. She did not think that he is somebody else other than her son. So Traya Yatha Yagya Purushatvena. So in the Vedas he is described as Yagya Purusha. Upanishad Bhir Brahmatvena. In the Upanishads he is described as Brahman. So because Trayi here primarily means Purmimansa. So there is talk of Yagya and Yagyor Vai Vishnu. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapsam. Krishna says, I am the enjoyer of the Yagya and Tapasa. So he is the Yajya Purusha. So that is the understanding of the Trayi. And Upanishad Bhir Brahmatvena. Upanishads speak of him primarily as Brahman. That is the most common word used. Sankhyayi Purushatvena. In Sankhya he is described as the Purusha. Purusha and Prakriti. And in Yoga as Paramatma. So yogis meditate on Kechid Hirdaya Antaravakasha. So they meditate in the sky of the heart. Satvatahi Pancharatrair Bhagavatvena. And the Satvatas are those who are following the Pancharatra. So they look at him as Bhagwan, or has his understanding as Bhagwan. Ityevam karmi prabhriti bhir upgiyamana mahatmyam. So in this way, Krishna is being glorified by different people, karmis, jnanis, yogis and bhaktas. So even after all these glories are sung, she still thinks of Krishna as her child. Desha kala niyamat tasya samaksham asamaksham va upadhikyena giyamana ashwaryam harim. So as according to the time and place and the rules, whether Krishna is in front of him or not, so his attributes may be described very much in the Ashwarya. So still sa atmajam amanyata itya asmad abhishta devtena eva avyo vrat niyama santata pujanadibhi santushtena parjanya abhidhana madiya swashura krita niravadya bahutapa santoshitena Śrīnarayanena kripya datto lokottara putro yamayam. So she thinks like this, that he is my son, and because we, means she herself and Nanda Maharaj, they got the son by the grace of Narayana, and that is because they had performed the worship of their Ishta Devata. So Asmad Abhishta Devatena Avyor Vrat Niyama Santusht Pujanadibhi. So our Ishta Devata, Abhishta Devata, being satisfied with our worship, he has given us a child like this, who is Lokottar, who is extraordinary. But he is my son. And also by the blessings of our father-in-law, Parjanya, father of Nanda Maharaj. Parjanya Vidhana Madhya Swasura Krita Niravadya Bahutapa Santoshatena. So Parjanya Maharaj also did austerities, and being pleased by that, he has got a grandson like Krishna. So that's what she thinks. So Śrīnarayanena kripya datto lokottaraha putroyam. So by the grace of Sri Narayana, we have achieved a son like son or Krishna who is Lokottara. Yatah karmi prabhriti bhir strayadi pratipadyattvena stuyate. And therefore he is being praised by the karmis and the jnanis and yogis because he has been given to us by the grace of Narayana. So that's why they pray. Tatra khalu Narayana samo gunahi iti sarvatra gargena giyataya Narayana samya prathaya anya duskar putanadi vadhanam etat kartrikatva prathaya cha ayameva Narayana iti tesham visvasa eva hetur vastutastu ayam matputra eva mam matram kshanam api adrishtva vikali bhavati aham chainam svanibhasya avahitam gyatva vivali bhavami. So he says that because Gargacharya said that he has qualities like Narayana, and then he has performed some activities like killing Putana, etc. So for this reason people think he himself is Narayana. So it is their misunderstanding. He is not Narayana himself, but he has qualities like Narayana, and because of that he has performed some extraordinary activities by the grace of Narayana, like killing of these asuras. And for that reason all these jnanis, yogis, they come and they sing his glories thinking that he is Narayana, because in India it is place of avatars. So therefore it is very easy for people to think like that. But the fact is this. The fact is that he is my son. And why is he thinks like this? He says that if he does not see me, he becomes impatient. Where is my mother? Where is my mother? And if I don't see him, I also become disturbed, anxious to see him. So if he was Narayan, why would he be like that? What would be the logic? If he is Narayan actually himself, why would he be anxious to see me when I am separated? Right? So everybody has got their logic. So those who think he is Narayana, they have their logic. Those and Yashoda thinks he is not Narayana, she also has that logic. So vivali bhavami iti aviyor janya jananyor anubhave vatra pramanam iti manasi sa samadhate. So he says that we have relationship of mother and child. I am the Janani, I am the mother, and he is the one who is born from me. That's our relationship. So Narayana is not born from anybody. Narayana is source of everyone, that's why it's called Narayana. Narajata Bhutani. So this is, he says that my anubhava, my own experience is the pramana in this. That is the proof that he is not Narayana. Because one's own experience is the best pramana. So it is my own experience. So in this way, she accommodated all this. Even if she has some remembrance of seeing this universe in Krishna's belly, then she thinks like this. He is my son, but he has some grace of Narayana. Therefore, some things happen like that. Right? Some people have extraordinary powers, किंच कर्मे प्रभृतयस्त्रय्यादिभिर्मया हरिं यज्ञपुरुषादिकं मन्यन्ते तथैव इयं वात्सल्य प्रेम्ण हरिम आत्मजं मन्यते. So moreover he says that Krishna has this ability that he can relate with different people in different relationships. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajami. So as one approaches him with a particular concept that he is Yajna Purusha, he is the person who is worshipped by doing yajnas, then he is a Yajna Purusha for them. If he is the one who is Brahman, Nirgun Nirakar, then he becomes Brahman for them. And if they think he is Paramatma, then he manifests as Paramatma for them. And those who think he is Bhagavan, he manifests Bhagavan for them. And those who think he is my child, then he is their child. So he is everything. And those who think there is no God, for them also he appears as if there is no God. So this is the characteristic of Krishna. So therefore Yashoda, out of her Vatsalya Prema, motherly affection, she thinks him to be the child, and he also acts like a child. Not acts, but he actually is a child. He is not doing any acting, but he is, because Krishna has got all this inside him. He is Brahman, he is Paramatma, he is Bhagavan, and as Bhagavan he has got Aishwarya, he has got Rāsa-līlā. So correspondingly that particular aspect is experienced by the devotee and others are not experienced by them. This is what Jiva Goswami was explaining in Krishna Sandarbha. One of the explanation he gave why somewhere it is said that he is avatar of Vishnu, he is avatar of Vamandev about Krishna, or he is avatar of this, or he is Paramatma. So he explained these slokas grammatically that this is the meaning. Another way says that everybody is, the sages who are speaking, whether it is Parashara speaking or someone else speaking, so they are speaking according to their own experience, and they experience Krishna as Paramatma only, or they experience him as Yajna Purusha only. So then they praise him like that, they define him like that. So they are not wrong, but he is not only that much, he is also beyond that, or he is more. So that's how it has to be accommodated. So therefore there is no contradiction in Shastra when it is said that he is Swam Bhagavan or he is Avatar, because the person who is describing him is describing according to one's own experience. All the sages do not have the same experience about him. Their experiences also have gradations. So that's how it is to be understood. Tebhyastu tattadanurupam phalam dadanas tesham Angahako Vashaitas San Ishte. This font is complete. No, is San Ishte, but what is this? Dadanas Tesham Anugrahako. Okay. So Tebhyastu tattadanurupam phalam dadana. So Krishna, he blesses everyone according to their approach to him. So those who are doing yajna and they want some wish from that, want to go to heaven or want something, then he gives that to them. Yogis want something, moksha, so he gives. And Vashayita San Ishte, so being controlled by that, he blesses them. अस्यैतु वात्सल्य प्रेमानुरूपं फलं दातुम असमर्थो ऋणी भवन अस्य अनुग्रहयो वश्य ईशितव्यत्वेन तिष्ठन् सानंदतुष्टो अस्य स्तन्यामृतार्थं रोदिति इति विशेष उत्तराध्याय स्पष्टि भविष्यति. So in case of Yashoda, what happens is that, so in the case of other people, he is the anugrahaka, he is the one who is blessing them, he is the vashayita, he is their controller. And this is what he wishes, because they also are like that. If they see him as Paramatma, then he is Paramatma, and being Paramatma, he is controller. That is the meaning of Paramatma. He is Ishvara. Paramatma means Ishvara, means controller. But in case of Yashoda, it is other way around. That asyaitu vatsalya premanurupam phalam datum asamartha. So to others he gives the fruit according to their sadhana. And that's, he stays aloof from them. But in case of Yashoda, he is unable to give the corresponding result to Yashoda because her love is so intense. What can he give? So that's what Brahma said, that what are you going to give? Kim devarate tina esham ghosa nivasinam udbhavan kim devarate tina sti cheto vishwaphaladaparam prapyana kutrapi aprapyam mohiyate. Says that what is the result you are going to give to these Brajvasis? Ghosh nivasi means Brajvasi. Esham ghosh nivasinam bhavan kim devarate. That, oh Lord, what will you give to them? I cannot think, because you are the highest fruit. And you gave yourself to Putana. Sadve shadive Putana sakula tvameva apita. So you cannot give the same fruit to Putana and same fruit to Brajvasis. That is highly improper. And there is nothing higher than, Brajvasis must get something higher than Putana. And you are the highest. And you have given to Putana. So what would you give to other people? So he cannot give anything. So he says, therefore there is nothing to give. Datum asamartha, is incapable of giving them. So then what happens if he is incapable? So then Rini Bhavan, therefore he remains as indebted, cannot pay the debt. Says that if someone offers little water, Tulsi Dal, Krishna becomes indebted to that person. Tulsi Dal Chulke Nava. So then he gives himself, but he cannot give, cannot pay in return. Anugrahayo vashya isitavyattvena tishtan. So instead of, in the other case of other people, he is the controller, he is the superior person. Here he becomes controlled and he wants their blessings. He comes under their control. Vashya ishitavya tishtan sananda tushto, and this is his pleasure. He is completely satisfied, he is full of bliss. He does not want to give up this position of being controlled by Yashoda. He doesn't want to be the controller of Yashoda and bless her, but he wants to remain indebted to her. So this is the power of bhakti. So in the Rāsa-līlā they sing this song, Bhaktan ne moy bhanti bhanti nachaya. That these devotees, they have made me dance in so many different ways. And he does this. So this is what he is saying, that Sananda Tushtopi Asyastanya Amritartham Roditi. So he is happy to be controlled by Brajvasis, happy to be blessed by them. Not only that, he cries for the nectar which comes from the breast of Yashoda. And when he doesn't get it, he becomes disturbed. So Stanyamritartham roditi. He cries. Iti Vishesha Uttaradhyaya Spashti Bhavishyati. Says this will be made more clear in the next chapter. Because that's the whole Dambandhan Leela happened, because he was drinking the breast of Yashoda and she left him. So he became upset. Why is this? I am enjoying the most wonderful milk from your breast and you are leaving me. So he broke the pot. So this is his situation. So now you can compare this with the relationship with other devotees, including Mother Devaki. Devaki is great, but try to understand the situation of Yashoda, how wonderful she is. It's beyond anyone's concept. Therefore Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes a very wonderful statement here. He says, Padyamidam Krishna Līlayam Paribhasha Sutra Rupam Jai. He says that this sloka should be understood as the Paribhasha Sutra of Krishna Līlā. And if you want to understand Krishna Līlā, then you should remember this sloka. The intention of Vyasa behind it, or Shukdev, why is there speaking. So just like Jiva Goswami said that Krishnastu Bhagavan Swami is a Paribhasha Sutra in Krishna Sandarbha. So here, this is the Paribhasha Sutra. So what is Paribhasha? So Paribhasa Parito Sarvato Bhashyate, which explains things all around. So that is called Paribhasha. He says, Paribhasha hi ek deshastha saklam shastram abhiprakashyati. So Paribhasha, Bhasha means which enlightens. Bhasha also means language, because through language we express our thoughts. What I want to say, it becomes clear only by my speaking. So similarly, the sutra is that which will make clear what is Krishna doing, what is this Krishna Līlā, what is the meaning behind it. It expresses that clearly. So that is called Paribhasha, which is stated once, but it enlightens the other parts of the Shastra. So like Krishnastu Bhagavan Swami is stated only once in one place. But with that you can understand. If we keep that in mind, then we can understand these pastimes. Otherwise, they don't become clear. So similarly, he says that this sloka is like that. So yatha veshma pradipa iti. Just like you have a lamp or a bulb in a room or a house. So it is in one place, but it gives light to the whole room. So Paribhasha is like that. It is like a big lamp in the Shastra, which illuminates it. Then he gives example from Panini grammar, because Panini grammar has got Paribhasha sutras. There are many sutras. There are 6 types of sutras, you know that. Sangya cha, Paribhasha cha, Vidhirniyam eva cha, Atidesha Adhikarasya, Sarvidam Sutra Lakshanam. So one type of sutra is Paribhasha Sutra, and in the Vyakarana there are many sutras which are Paribhasha. We are also reading them in Harinamavriti Vyakarana. So this gives one example, Iko Gun Vriddhi. So this is the second sutra of Panini, first chapter, first pada, second sutra. First one is Vriddhi Radhaich, 111, and 112 is Iko Gun Vriddhi. So the meaning is Guna and Vriddhi. Now those who are taking Harinamavriti Vyakarana class know that. So Guna is Govinda and Vriddhi is Vishnindra. So Ika is what we call as Dasavatar. Because there also it is I, Idvam, I, Udvam, Au. So that same here. So it is applicable. That means wherever it is said guna, in whichever sutra the word guna will come, then Nika Gun Vriddhi means the Eka there, which includes E, O, all that. So that will become guna. And if it will have the word like Vriddhi, Ad, H, right? So there Vriddhi will come. So this will be applied there, this paribhasha. So that's a yatra tatra gun vriddhi shruyate tatra ek paribhasho upatishthate. So wherever the word guna and vriddhi are heard in whichever sutra, so there this ik paribhasha, that eko gun vriddhi, that ik will become guna or ik will vriddhi, because both will not come simultaneously, either it will be guna or vriddhi. So wherever you hear it is the eka, means that a, e, o, re, re, they are the one which will become guna or vriddhi. So that is the meaning. Tathaiva, so in the same way, what is the meaning of paribhasha here? Komara, Kashora, Mathura, Kurukshetra adi gata, Līlāsu, yatra yatra aishwarya prasanga, tatra idam uptishthate. So where Krishna's Kumar Līlā is up till 5 years, Kashor Līlā after that, or his Līlā in Mathura, or in Kurukshetra. So in all these Līlās, wherever there is his Aishwarya, he is manifesting his Aishwarya, so then you have to apply this sutra. That may be Aishwarya for others, but for Vrajavasis, for those who are his devotees, he remains in that relationship. And that is the supreme value of that. Means this is shown, the Aishwarya Līlā is shown to make us understand this distinction of devotion of Vrajavasis and the other devotees. So this is the end of this verse. Any question on this? Yes.
Could you please explain again the word samanya? Samanyata? In the Mula shloka, this Harim Samanyata Atmajam.
Harim Sa Amanyata.
Sa Amanyata.
Sa means she, Amanyata means considered. Manu Bodhana Atmajam. Harim Sa Atmajam Amanyata. Or Sa Harim Atmajam Amanyata. Any other question? Yes.
I have this question regarding this last part. You said that this Mamart, Kashora, Mathura, Kurukshetra, this last line, Babaji, that yatra yatra aishwarya prasangas tatra idam uptishtata iti. So basically, what is the meaning? He is shown those very aishwaryas here, much more aishwaryas here, but still that love is supreme. What is the meaning of this line?
No, he says that wherever you see this aishwarya being manifest in these Leelas, because sometimes he manifests his aishwarya like lifting of Govardhan hill is coming. So he says that does not diminish the love of the Vrajavasis. And it may diminish, it may bring the feeling of Aishwarya in others, but not in the Vraj devotees. Just as it happened to Yashoda, that even after seeing this Vishwa, the universe, she did not lose her feeling of mother towards Krishna. So that's the meaning of paribhasha.
So like even Devaki also did not lose that feeling of being a mother in the sense, but her reverence became a bit more in the sense when Krishna went to Mathura, so even he was grown up still, like I think we read in one of the sandarbhas that she wanted to put him in the lap. Like
Yeah, so her feeling of mother becomes subdued. That's why when Krishna was born, we already read that in 3rd chapter, she was praying to him. So how can she pray to him if she is thinking that he is my son and I am the mother? That does not make sense. The mother does not pray to the son. So at that point in time, she is not thinking like that. That's why she speaks this word yattatarupam ahu avyakta madhyam nirgunam nirvikaram. The son cannot be nirgun, nirvikar, jyoti, brahman, all that. So now she is not having that mood of son. Like Yashoda did not do that. Even after she is seeing, she thought, am I dreaming? Is it Dev Maya with Madhya Buddhi Moha? So all these conjectures she is making. She did not immediately drop everything and start reciting some mantras. She did not do that. She says, my son, what is wrong with him?
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Babaji, I was wondering how this Paribhasha Sutra can be applied to, for example, in Dwarka when Sri Narad Muni visited, for example. Sri Krishna also washed his feet and so on, or even in Kurukshetra when during the Rajasuri Ragni of Yudhishthira, he washed the feet of Brahmanas and Vedavyas was there and so on. The question is how is the way Sri Vedavyasa and Sri Narad Muni obviously understand Sri Krishna as Sri Narayana, so how is it that they can also they don't just how is it that they also treat him in this way?
Yeah, because that's how they see him. They see him as Bhagwan. They are not thinking he is my son.
But then how do they accept worship from him?
Because he is playing the role as they know that he is God, but now he is playing the role. So they accept that way. But inside they are thinking that he is God.
Babaji?
Yes.
My question is, can we let's say use this paribhasha in the case of Arjuna in the context of Bhagavad Gita, let's say to prove that actually bhakti is the best path to follow, saying that one should become a devotee, saying that Arjuna couldn't stand the Vishvarupa form.
Yes, that is the conclusion. That is the intention there. That although, the intention is first of all in Gita to establish that Krishna is Bhagwan and he can be meditated in various ways, as is described in the 10th chapter, and then ultimately it is described that to be devotee is superior than to have this kind of concept. Basically same comparison of Aishwarya and Madhurya which is being done.
Thank you.
So let's do one more sloka. So after hearing this, King Parikshit was also astonished, because he could also understand the greatness of Yashoda. And therefore he asked the following question. Sri Raja Vacha Nandaha kim akarod brahman shreya evam mahodayam Yashoda cha mahabhaga papau yasyaha stanam harihi. So what is the wonderful activity Nanda Maharaj did that he got such a great position to be Krishna's father. And what did the most fortunate Yashoda do? That Sri Krishna drank milk from her breast. So you see, the king here is not speaking that what did Yashoda do that she was able to see the Vishwa inside Krishna's mouth or belly. So from this we understand that King Parikshit also understood the greatness of this Madhurya Bhakti or Aishwarya. Because this is most amazing. How many people have seen such a scene? So, but he is not talking about that. What he is talking about is that Yasyaha Stanam Hari Papau, that Sri Krishna drank milk from Yashoda's breast. What did she do to get this position? He did not say what did she do to see the universe in his mouth. So he is not paying attention to the Aishwarya part, but to the Madhurya part. So Aishwarya darshan shravanabhyam api tasya prem dadhyam akarne karmi prabhritibhyo bhaktebhyascha abhivyajyamana utkarsham cha janan ati vishmayena pritchati nandayati. So knowing very well the greatness of Yashoda, that how even after hearing even after seeing Krishna's Aishwarya and hearing about his Aishwarya, she remained fixed in her relationship of mother and son, Janni and Janya. And knowing well the greatness of Yashoda, being far superior to those who perform yajna, the karmis, or the devotees, sattvatas, he was astonished that who is this Yashoda? How great is she? And with this intention he poses this question, Nanda kim akarod Brahman, Shreya eva mahodaya. So Mahan Udaya Phalam Yasyatat. What kind of activity, which means obviously some spiritual activity, he performed that he got such a benefit of being Krishna's father? Because Devaki and Vasudeva, although they are also Krishna's parents, but they did not get this kind of benefit, this kind of opportunity to witness Krishna's Bala-līlā. And this is the most wonderful, because this kind of intimacy then is not seen with parents when he grows up. When he goes to Mathura and Dwarka, he is already 11-year-old. So now there is no drinking of the breast milk. So that intimacy was not there between Devaki and Krishna. Although she also is the mother and she treats Krishna like son, but when children grow up, then the intimacy also diminishes. When children are small, then there is a very intimate relationship. The child also clings to the mother, and mother is also very affectionate to the child. But it does not remain stable. As the child grows into adult, then it reduces. Because for this Vatsalya Prema, this parental affection, the quality is that the child is vulnerable, dependent, is unable to take care of herself or himself. So then the parents, they are also doting over the child, taking care. So that's why I say that what is that great, wonderful activity they performed to get such a result, such an outcome. And Mahabhaga iti nandadapi tasya shreyodhikam avipret. And then he uses an adjective for Yashoda as Mahabhaga, means highly fortunate. So this is to indicate that Yashoda's position is even superior to Nanda Maharaj. Generally people think that in the society the position of male is superior. It's male dominant society. But here it says that Yashoda is superior to Nanda Maharaj. Therefore it is for her only that this adjective has been used and not for Nanda Maharaj. So Yashoda cha Mahabhaga yasya papo yasyastanam hari. Because it is natural that the intimacy which mother has with the child, the father does not have that intimacy. So this is again now to show this excellent position of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and he will ask more in the next sloka. So tomorrow there is no class because I have this retreat for 3 days. We'll meet on Tuesday. Any more question? Yes.
Just a question came to my mind hearing you speak about Rāsa-līlā, and then when Krishna went, when he was 11 years old, to Mathura, did he stay with Devaki and Vasudeva? Or did he stay somewhere like in Gurukula type of setting? And are there any descriptions of the relationship he had with them from being like a Kishore, a boy, not a young boy, but a boy, not a Bala? Are there any descriptions of that relationship?
No, he stayed with them. He went to Gurukula for a very short period. It said that in 64 days he learned 64 arts. So that is 2 months, maybe some little extra time because he also learned other things. But he was not for a very long time in the Gurukula. And then he stayed with them, but he is not Bala as you are thinking. He's already grown up. He may have been 11, 12 or whatever you think of him, but he is more like 16, 17 in his appearance there. He is more like a youth. He is now into his Kshatriya bhav. He was already fighting with Jarasandha, was attacking because he killed Kamsa. Then Kamsa's 2 daughters were married to, Jarasandha's 2 daughters were married to Kamsa. So they went crying to the father, and then Jarasandha came and attacked. So that's what he was doing. And then he went to Dwarka from there because it was too much trouble all the time. Because Jarasandha will go, he will get defeated, then he will come back. So he could not live in peace. So he said, this is not life, all the time fighting. I also have to get married and settle down in family life. Right? So therefore he went, established himself in Dwarka, he got married there. And there also he is with Vasudeva and Devaki. He is living with them.
Thank you, that's very sweet.
Okay.